Okay, everybody, this is my friend Lorenzo Murphy, aka Quest. Just want to give him a quick shout out. When I
Yes.
hit the Carol Vance unit and looked at the workouts he was doing, I said, man, let me go over here and see. They ain't really got no weights. Let me see what's happening. And his workouts were not only good, he was patient. We vibed. We got our paper. Or for those who don't understand that, you get results. So I just want to put that plug in there. You understand that the man is a workout fanatic, but also he has good understanding and compassion. So how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Where did you just come from? Because I think you jumped off the plane a few days ago or something. Where were you at?
My hometown, Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. Was there snow on the ground?
It snowed what 2 days before I left. So I had a 1 day of good snow. The second day it rained and it was slush and it was nasty and stuff. But
Okay. Come on. Come on.
yeah, I loved it, man. And just and it was a beautiful thing for the kids, because we come up and you hear the songs "I Want a White Christmas," with the snow and stuff like that. So even though the kids weren't able to get the snow on Christmas Day, they did get it a couple days later, and they were out there just having a ball.
Okay. That's good. That's good. When I met you, one of the things that stood out to me is your belief in you. There are a lot of people who have swag or style or confidence, but under further scrutiny, they really don't have confidence in themselves. They, that's just a facade. But with you, I noticed and I like that. And that's why I enjoyed speaking to you so much when we were together. What helped you or made you believe so much in you?
Mm. Um, I have what every human being have, and that's the internal an internal drive, or okay, it's like it can work for you or it can work against you, or you can just be wise and know which one to employ in said situation. And basically what I'm referring to is the fight or flight, this internal thing that we all have in us to fight or flight. And I come from circumstances where um if basically you have no choice. You can either throw in the towel and just submit to your environment, submit to your circumstances, submit to whatever's going on around you, or you can dig deep within yourself, and tap into your tenacity, tap into that fight in you. And when I say fight, I don't mean anything violent. I mean just to have ambition, to have drive to move forward in life. So my back was placed against the wall at an early age, and rather than just succumb to my environment, even though I did participate in the things that went on in my environment, I always had a mind that it was something better, that I should be doing something better, that we should be doing better, that we are better. So I just chose to tap inside and to tap inside of me into that part, that fight instead of the flight, and just to get going and just want something better for my life. That's basically it.
So, for those who don't know your backstory or your story, whatever you're comfortable sharing, share with the people a little bit about yourself so that we know you.
Okay, well, I went to prison um at 19 years old. I was released at 35 years old. And I meet people and I don't I'm just not the guy to say, hey, my name is Quest. I was in prison. I just got out of prison. I mean, I'm just not that guy because I may not ever deal with you no more in life.
Mm-hmm.
But for the people who I build a relationship with and I'm going to be around, and then, you know, I'll let them know it's not something I'm ashamed of, but it's like my business is my business. So I said that to say this. I haven't met one person yet that knew or could tell or even believe me when I told them I was incarcerated for that length of time. People just don't believe it. They just, for some, they just can't fathom is, I don't know if it's the way I speak, the way I carry myself, or how, I don't know what it is about me. When people find out, they do not believe it. I have to literally convince people, you know, and it's like I told the authorities, the parole board or whatever, I don't believe in rehabilitation for certain people like myself, because when you say it means to redo something that was done. And for me, my life is right for the first time. I call the people in my life the loves of my right life because I'm living right. So you can't redo something that was never done to begin with. So that's why rehabilitation don't apply to people like me. I have my life right for the first time. You know, I have my mind right for the first time. I have my spirit right for the first time. So rehabilitation doesn't apply to people like me. I'm thankful for brothers like yourself and who helped me during those times, you know, to blossom, you know, who pushed me, you know, who made me think, you know. But that's where I come from, man. And it's a situation to where you either gonna it's gonna make you or break you, you know, and I refuse to let it break me, man.
You have a strong compassion for the youth. And when I say youth, the younger men,
Yes.
not only did you influence them in a positive way, from what I saw when we were around one another, that has always been who you have a voice for willingly at all times. Where does that come from? How did you evolve into that?
Oh man, it's a beautiful thing because uh the way I grew up, I always had an admiration and respect for older guys, you know, because I always felt like they, you know, they knew something that I didn't know. They had something that I didn't have. So I always respected those guys and I wanted to be around them and hang around them and stuff like that. And as I, you know, became a man and, you know, and put away childish thing and became wise, I really, really understand how important, how detrimental it could be, how instrumental it could be, and how fragile a young person is. You know, it's like the fork in the road, you know, and when a person is young, you really have the opportunity to reach them. You know, you really have the opportunity to influence them. And I like the at-risk guys, the hard-nosed guys, because that's where I come from. And I know the language, you know, and you know what older people say all the time, well, I've been there and I've done that. And it goes in one ear and out the other when you're young and hard-headed, but the reality is that's the truth. I've been there and I've done that, you know, so and I'm a living witness to, I can be able to tell you that we were told a lie, you know, about the streets and those type of things, you know, we were lied to. You know, it was one of the biggest lies ever told to me, you know, and I just want to help people. I just want to help the youth. Okay, Tupac said it best, and I wish he'd have followed his own advice. He said, slow down and begin your life before you end your life. And that's all, in a nutshell, that's all I want to help the youth do. I want to help, I want to try to inspire them to take a moment, to slow down and begin their life before they end their life. You know, and to sum it up, when I was young, I knew what I lacked, I knew what I wanted, I knew what I needed. So in hindsight, I can look back and be like, man, if I'd have had this, if I would have had that, if I'd have had these type of influences in my life, because those same influences that led me this way, what if I had the opposite influence in my life? Where would I be now? You know, and it's just nature, man. It's just nature with the mind, with the brain. You know, when the youth are, they just at a perfect time in their lives, man, to where if they really have the right influence in their life, the right encouragement, the right admiration, you know, they can go the right way, basically.
I believe that. Let me take you back for a moment. We were together with some other men, and we would have an opportunity to speak to probationers.
Right.
I heard a lot of wisdom from my peers. I experienced some joy and laughter. Do you have a particular memory from that group setting that you want to share with us?
Oh man, this one is easy because this is the one that sticks out to me most. There was a young guy there. At the beginning of the session, I'm sure you may recall, he said that he didn't believe in God. So that automatically stuck out to me. So I'm taking notes. I wrote that down. I said, oh man, this is a good one right here. So and he went on to say that he was a boss, he was a business owner, and he was doing big things and like that. And so when I had the opportunity to speak with him, I asked him, I said, why do you not believe in God? And he said, I don't know. I said, hold up. Let me blow the horn. Let me beat the drum. Let me sound the whistle. Everything needs to stop right now. This young man said he didn't believe in God. And when I asked him why did he not believe in God, he said he did not know. So you know what they said to me? I said, so if you say you don't believe in God and you don't know why you don't believe in God, that tells me you've never thought about it. You've never thought about it. Because if you don't believe in something, and if you do believe in something, then you should be able to articulate that. You should have, even if you're not good with words, you should have some thoughts in your mind to say, it's like ice cream. It's chocolate ice cream. Well, I don't like chocolate ice cream because of this, or I don't like peanuts because of this. And if it's something that's as deep as, our spirituality, and you say you don't believe in, or you do believe in, you should have some type of way to speak about that. And this young man had no words. So that told me without a shadow of a doubt that he never thought about it. So this is something that was probably passed along to you, or you picked up somewhere, or maybe it sound cool, but that moment right there, I was like, man, it was like, but I loved it though, because it was like fuel to my passion. I loved it, man. But I had a lot of moments, but that was one of the moments that really stuck out to me. I'll never forget that.
There were a lot of moments. And so before we move forward, I know that you're a poet, or you have some words to share with the people. Why don't you give us a piece of that talent that God has blessed you with?
Oh man, let me see if I got something, because I've been doing so much lately, and let me see if I can pull something. Let me see. This is a little short one. It says, no, I'm not a Bible thumper. but I believe in the things that Christ did. And if I'm God's son, that means our children are Christ's kids. Over 220,000 churches in Texas state. That's enough soldiers to change the world, but we're not in a church state until it's Sunday. I think maybe we should do a little bit more on Monday, because someday may never come when you're ready to wake up and change things. See, we're ready to change the world, but when we look at ourselves, we're not ready to change things. And we miss out on incredible opportunities that change brings. So I really don't believe in religion. But give me God's eyes, let me see the vision. I'll take the mission and I'll run with it, making moves in my church clothes. But what are church clothes? Majority of us are on the battlefield in our fatigues, while others are just sitting there looking clean in their church clothes. Just take a moment to think about that. This is a little small snippet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, as an aspiring, meaning you're still gathering information and putting some things together, you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So as an entrepreneur, the question is, if there's 20 people who do what you do, why should I deal with you rather than the 20?
Okay, simple, but important. People should deal with people like me because I approach fitness from a 360, from a holistic standpoint. Because the average person will work their mind, they'll work their body, but they'll neglect their spirit. They'll work their spirit, they'll work their body, but they'll neglect their mind. The average person falls into one of those categories. And I believe that I am convinced that we can really reach our full potential if we bring some type of harmony, some type of balance with our mind, our body, and our spirit. They go hand in hand. They're synonymous. If one is off, then the other one is off. So I approach fitness from a 360 point of view perspective, meaning, okay, let's inform the mind. Let's inform the mind. Let's inform the mind on what you need to do about the human anatomy, your personal situation, because we're different. Your personal history, your medical history, your genetic history. Let's go there. Now let's exercise. Let's do some wellness, the physical work with the body. And after that, let's tap into the spirit. Let's pray. Let's meditate. Let's go over a scripture or whatever. Let's really get deep into this thing, because they go hand in hand, because we can prove this simple. If you are physically sick, you mean to tell me that's not affecting your mind, that's not affecting your spirit? And if you are physically sick, but your spirit is so strong and your mind is so strong, it's going to help you pull your body, your physical, up out of that sickness. It's been proven. That's not my theory. It's been proven, man. So with the average person, that's what you're going to get. Come on here, let's work out. That's like that. But with me over here at 360 Whole Fit, we going deeper. We're going deeper into this thing. It's a community. It's a tribe type of mentality. We in this thing together. That's
so
how
three questions on that. What is the name of your brand, or what you're offering? What is it called again?
It's 360 Whole Fit.
Okay. If someone wanted to reach you to ask questions concerning that, how could they do that?
They can reach me on IG at 360 Whole Fit. And there they will see everything that they need to see. They can also reach me at 713-702-7283. They can reach me there, contact me, text me, that's my line.
And the final question on that note, where did you develop this holistic entrepreneurial idea?
You mean, and when you say where, are you mean a location?
Yes. Where
And
did you have a dream? What how did you come up with this?
well, I always just had a passion for sports and physical activity. I've been playing sports off and on my whole life. Um, and I always just had a fascination with the body and being healthy, being strong, muscles looking good, but as I got older, I came to understand through wisdom that it's so much deeper than looking good, because you can have a person that's ripped up, a 20 pack, not a six pack, a 20 pack, and all of that. And you can have a person that's was considered big and be in better shape than that guy with a 20 pack. It's proven. I've worked with these type of people. Big guys who can move, who can run, who have stamina, who have endurance, and small, slim, physically beautiful guys that don't have really nothing. So as I got older, I understand that it was a deeper level. And as I tapped into my spirituality, I understand that it was an even deeper level, but they all go hand in hand.
So there's a young person watching this interview, and with the discernment, experience, and passion that you have, can you share something that would allow a young person making some decisions to open up their perspective to see some things or think about some things that the average young person, when making decisions, doesn't? Is there anything that you could say? Just act like I'm that young person and give me something to expand the horizons of my perspective.
Most importantly, we've been, if you're in the streets or anything like that, there's no codes. There's no codes. We've been sold a lot that there's a code, there's a G code. There's no such thing. It's every man for himself. There's no honor amongst thieves. When the pressure comes, people are going to do what's best for them. Their loyalty goes out the window. Very few. The average guy sitting who's incarcerated right now wish they can turn back the hands of time. The average guy who taking his last breaths before he died wish he can turn back the hands of time from living that street life, that fast life. All of those big time guys that you hear their names from, gang founders and all of those stuff, those guys are in there with a totally different mentality. They wish they could turn back the hands of time. And you could be that young person that grow old if you live in prison, and you're going to be wishing you can turn back the hands of time. Or you can be that young person that's lying on the ground, bullet riddled, that wish you can turn back the hands of time. It's a lie. It's a lie. I'm telling you, it is a lie. You looking at somebody who did 16 plus calendar years, day for day. You looking at somebody who did 3 years in solitary, the whole. It's a lie. And I just hope that, each young individual, at least a few, can come across a mentor, because that's what we really need. We really need mentors. They really need mentors. To tell me something positive for a couple hours, that's not enough.
But to live it in front of them, that's one
it.
reason I really love where I'm working at right now. Now, I continue to say, there's some things I just, I never held a power tool in my life before I took this job, but at Jail to Jobs, whatever the job is, we're working side by side with the young person and we're giving them some things. It's like one of the newer projects that we have is at a animal shelter where they adopt dogs and cats. And in the morning, we clean up, but in the afternoon we train dogs. And so I'm telling this 20-year-old young lady, I'm like, what have you learned? And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, like today we were a person short. I said, there's something to learn here today that can help you beyond today. We were washing dishes, and I said, when I'm washing dishes, my mind is really not on I'm washing dishes. That's why it doesn't become cumbersome or boring to me, because I know that we're securing a place for some people who are going to come behind us. We get another job, or we have another something to do for the organization. I said, but if we don't do a good job now, the position will not be secure. So although I may be doing the same physical actions as other people around me, my mentality is I'm holding a spot for somebody. And she said, wow. And I said, that's just an example of put your mind in a place where you're not just doing everyday activities, but while you're doing everyday activities, your mind is beyond the activities, and you'll eventually get to that place, but it'll also make it interesting while you're in this place. So I always give everybody that I interview an opportunity. Are there any questions you have for me? Because I don't like putting people on the spot, and I'm not saying you feel like you're on the spot, but if I didn't give you an agenda of questions, then you didn't give me one. And if you have something you want to ask me, I'm here.
Just one question.
Okay.
What's the drive, you know, within you? What drives you to do what you do? You know, like what we're doing right now, because it has to be something that's deeply embedded.
When I prayed and I asked God, I said, God, give me a love for good and a hate for evil. And what that meant in detail is I love money and I love women. Replace that with something. And he replaced that with a love of people. You asked me something one day. We were on the rec yard and we were just talking. And so I was just telling you, I said, man, the unit, this could happen, that could happen. I wish people would really believe that. And you were like, say, man, you can't save Carol Vance. And I told you, I said, I'm not trying to save Carol Vance, but whatever my part is to try to help anybody on Carol Vance,
Right.
that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
And it wasn't that somebody was behind me pushing me, and it wasn't that even in some cases where some things went better than they were going, that there was a pat on the back, but there's just an internal belief in you, in other people, because I believe in me. I know what God has done for me. I know what he can do for me, and I'm believing for what he's going to do for me. And that same belief, it doesn't stop with me. So when I look at people, when sometimes people are like, you pushing me, man, you pushing me too hard. I'm not pushing you. I'm telling you what I see. I'm speaking to you according to what I see. Just like if you saw me as this or you saw me as that, and you're like, I'm not going to mess with you. I see this in people, everyday people. And so I work prayerfully to develop whatever I see in someone, and however they receive it, they receive it. If they reject it, they reject it. But I'm just driven to do that. I have a genuine care and concern for people to be the best that they can be. A lot of my partners in Houston, they're like, man, why you do those interviews? Why you doing this, man? It's about truck driving. It's about this, it's about that. I said, bro, I understand what you're saying. I said, but you can have money and still be miserable. I'm not miserable right now.
Right.
I enjoy listening to wisdom from other people. And I believe the wisdom that we have, when other people hear it, it helps. There's some things that when we have one-on-one conversations that they help me. And if it helped me, I think, well, man, let me put a camera up there and see, can it help somebody else? But that's what drives me. My belief in each person having a purpose and just want to just, hey, if I can help you in some way, that's what I do.
Mm. Great. Same thing in different words.
All right. So is there anything else you want to share before we conclude this interview? I thank you for your time. I'm very proud of you. I'm expecting to see some great things out of you concerning this 360.
Yes. That's it. I thank you for this opportunity, brother. And I admire you, you know, and from the moment I saw you, I watched you, you know. So I have no choice but to come to this point that you are who you say you are. You know, from there to here, you know, you've been consistent. You know what I'm saying? You've been
Yeah.
consistent. It's the last thing I gotta say. I just wanted to show people that it's real. That's my business card.
Okay.
I just want to show people that it's real. You'll see that same card on my IG 360 whole fit.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Is there another piece of poetry you could leave us with, or we just gonna say goodbye?
We gonna say goodbye, but I definitely got something for you. It's coming up.
Because I know you told me that you had something specifically for me
Yeah,
that I asked for.
I just got to put it in the memory bank. It's already written.
Okay, it's all good. Well, you have a wonderful evening, brother, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, brother.
So with that, what I have